Hi guys, welcome to Zero Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin. This is episode 6. What is up with Bitcoin? Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is all for entertainment and education purposes only. Please do your own research before purchasing or investing into any cryptocurrency or crypto-related asset. Now, if you're catching us live, welcome. If you're catching the replay, please let us know what you think on comments below. If you like what we do, subscribe, hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep on chatting, you can join us on the Discord once the stream is done. Now, on to the news. To keep up with our US-China trade war stories, the cybersecurity company FireEye claimed on a report published on August 2nd that Chinese state hackers are performing attacks against crypto and video game enterprises. According to the report, the Chinese State Espionage Cyber Unit, APT-41, targets industries in a manner generally aligned with China's 5-year economic development plans. Industries that are targeted include healthcare, technology, media, pharmaceuticals, retail, software, telecom, travel services, education, video games, and cryptocurrencies. Now, the countries that are being targeted are France, India, Italy, Japan, Myanmar, the Netherlands, Singapore, South Korea, South Africa, Switzerland, Thailand, Turkey, the UK, the US, and Hong Kong. That's 15 countries they're targeting. Now, do you guys believe this will add more fuel to the trade war that's already going on? If you do believe so, please comment below or in the chat. We would like to know what you think. On to other news. This is from yesterday. Now, yesterday Coinbase announced the potential addition of several new cryptocurrency assets. And one of them was Matic Network, which saw gains over 60%, approximately 100 million in trade volume. And by Tuesday afternoon, Matic already lost a good part of the gains with what's known as the Coinbase effect. And I find it amazing how Coinbase can have this effect on small currencies, or not even that small. Ripple had the same happen to them. You know, there's all these rumors that Coinbase is going to list someone, or Coinbase says they're going to list someone, and all of a sudden you see these spikes in volume and trading in these cryptos. And as soon as something happens, or next day or that afternoon, everything starts to die down, and a lot of sell-off starts to happen. And I mean, sometimes Coinbase, I mean, it's just rumors, right? Coinbase just looks at them, winks, and that's it. That's all it takes for people to go crazy and go nuts and start investing. Not gonna go too much into detail. The article's not very lengthy. If you guys want to check it out, it's on the description below, along with the other articles that we cover on our news. Now we're gonna look really quick at the market cap. Like we stated in earlier videos, market cap has been rising, which means people have been taking their money out of somewhere else, putting them into cryptocurrencies. Now, the market cap right now, or the market cap yesterday closed at, which is this candle right here that I'm going to try to highlight, this green candle. There we go. It closed at 300.46 billion, which is 3.18% up from the prior day. Now, that close happened approximately 6 hours ago, 5 hours ago. Now, the total market cap right now is sitting at 300 billion, which is 1.29% up from, down from yesterday's closing. Like we said, happened a couple minutes ago, a couple hours ago, sorry. Now, on to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance closing yesterday again with a marble zoo candle, all green, no wicks to either side. Opening and closing are the highs and lows, and it was up 1.17% from an opening of 69.4, closing at 70.21. Right now, Bitcoin it's trading is losing a little bit of dominance, sitting at 70.13, which is 0.11% down. Now we're gonna move back onto news regarding Bitcoin. Now, over the past few years, the use of Bitcoin for payments took a backseat as there was an increased focus on the digital assets used as a store of value. However, the payment case is now making a comeback, and that's thanks to the development of the Lightning Network, which is a secondary protocol layer that enables cheaper instant transfers from Bitcoin users. Um, there's two apps right now, Bitrefill and Fold, that have already integrated the Lightning Network. And while the network is improving the Bitcoin payments experience from a technical perspective, it is setting up regulatory problems for the cryptocurrency in terms of how it will be taxed. Bitcoin payments are treated as taxable events, and how serious of an issue is going to be, it's just basically going to depend on how much money you spend per transaction and how many transactions you make. I mean, uh, users should start to track their capital gains they accrue when they buy something with crypto. And from a tax perspective, Bitcoin payment is treated the same as a sale of one Bitcoin's holdings, because in reality, what you're doing is you're changing your Bitcoin for fiat, or to fiat to be able to purchase something. Therefore, you're selling it. And it wouldn't be a surprise if at some point in time wallets start doing a better tracking and reporting on the amounts of Bitcoin spent, at what exchange rate, etc., to make life easier for the users to declare their taxes. Now, there's another article which I found interesting, which is from Timothy Lee, and he says that he tried to purchase Bitcoin from a Bitcoin ATM at the Bitcoin Embassy in Mexico City. He was trying to get a 10% discount that the bar was offering to users that paid with Bitcoin. So he proceeded to insert the money into the ATM, and he waited for the funds to arrive for a while. He ordered his food, his beer, and the funds didn't arrive. And little did he know that the transactions under $50 took a day or two to process at that place. So Timothy, come on, man, you gotta read the fine print, or you have to ask before you do that. Make sure you're gonna get the funds before you pay. Anyways, he spoke with the manager, and everything was clear. He got his Bitcoin the following day. And I am mentioning this article because with the Lightning Network that we just mentioned previously, issues like this might be a thing of the past. We might see faster transfers of Bitcoin. Now, in other Bitcoin news, I found this one's quite amusing. It says Buffett's right. Bitcoin is rat poison, and he's a rat. So says Max Kaiser on Twitter, on a tweet or retweet from Kitco News. It stated that Kaiser stated that Bitcoin was going to crush the U.S. dollar and blow the roof of every bank in America. And he justifies his stance by arguing that big names from finance in New York and Chicago are desperate to get into the industry, but to do so, they must first buy up masses of Bitcoin to allow for them to offer futures and other typical financial products associated with more traditional markets. Now, Kaiser went on to say, and this is quotes, they're going to rump this all the way up to a much higher price before they launch these futures products. Then you're going to see volatility, but from a much higher level. And then the game gets more interesting. Once the CME gave a green light to futures, the pros got to inventory up. They got to massive inventory on hand so they can play the games they like to play. They got to buy it. He went also on to say it's still going to outperform stocks, bonds, gold. It's going to outperform everything. It's going to outperform Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett famously compared Bitcoin to rat poison. You know what? Warren is a rat. Jamie Dimon is a rat. I just found that a bit amusing. On to Bitcoin chart real quick. As we can see, Bitcoin is still breaking. Well, it just broke out of this downtrend that we had charted with the equidistant channel, and it's still within this uptrend that we had placed. And if we look closer, and this is gonna be better seen in the 4 hours, we can see we've gone out a little bit, gone back in, gone back out, gone back in again. However, still within this trend that we had traced. And I guess we could make this trace from this line I'm highlighting right now and this line that I'm highlighting right now, top and bottom, creating a triangle. Triangles are a bit, they're neutral patterns. However, we are seeing this upper part of the triangle acting as resistance within this uptrend, and just the bottom part of the triangle still highlighting that uptrend that we had traced before. We are ending that small triangle structure that we had traced, and we could expect to see a move Bollinger Bands are also starting to contract around this point, and let's see what happens. Momentum, although it was dying down to the negative, now starting to pick up a little bit more negative momentum, and we are sitting comfortably at a, what is it right now on the RSI, 57.82, which would put us, it's just being basically bought but not overbought, right? I mean, actually it's turning down, it's coming from turning down a little bit, meaning that it's gonna start being sold, and that's from this last bar of a little bit more negative momentum that we're seeing, which is this red candle that's developing, and this candle still has an hour and 28 minutes to close. Let's see how it closes, and let's hope that we can still keep within this uptrend, if not at least within this triangle, and let's see where price takes us. Now on to Ethereum. Regarding Ethereum, the news today were really scarce. Most of them were talking about the appointment by the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance of Aya Miyaguchi as executive director of the Ethereum Foundation. So we're just gonna jump real quick into Ethereum chart. As we can see, Ethereum has broken out of this upsloping channel that we had charted. If we wanted to, we could trace another channel, which could possibly be like this, which would put us in a smaller downtrend. However, it's too short of a pattern right now to actually classify it as a downtrend, such as the one I'm tracing. Let's wait for more development to happen before we actually do something with it. I think we could try and look at it like a triangle of sorts. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Maybe that could work as a triangle, right? Anyways, on to Ripple news, right? And is this one? Should Ripple burn 50%, right? And this one is from a petition started by a guy named Crypto Bitlord that is requesting that Ripple should burn half of the XRP held in reserves. And the petition has over 570 signatures as of today. It also recommends that Ripple no longer release its supply of XRP into the crypto market, suggesting that this would lead to a pump. The petition states that every day there's good news, a new bank pattern or partnership is announced, but still it manages to keep on dumping. The only logical explanation is that Ripple are dumping on us, and no small amounts either, literally billions. We have seen the reports of them disclosing this, so it is a fact. Now, the big sort of obstacle facing the idea that Ripple has a lot to gain from selling its massive vault of XRP and very little to gain from burning it. Yeah, and that's true. They much rather sell it than burn it. Why burn it, right? And while the company and its employees likely have other holdings of XRP, it is unlikely that the increase in value of these holdings would, from these holdings would counteract the loss of the XRP in escrow if they were to burn it. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think Ripple's manipulating the market to keep the price semi-stable for more institutions to jump in and more banks, and to show that yeah, they have some stability, but I mean it could be fabricated stability because it's all coming from this billion XRP they're pumping in, they're taking out of escrow, putting into the market at the beginning of each month, whatever's left over, putting it back into escrow, and then taking it out again at the beginning of the next month. So there's always a supply of XRP in the market, and yes, that could be a reason why the supply is not going up, and we have seen prices stagnate, right? On other crypto news, Western Union announced job cuts, and they're claiming that they're part of its new global strategy, and it's supposed to improve efficiency, bringing long-term revenue growth and increase profitability. Why, you might ask? Why are they cutting jobs if Ripple just bought into them? Ripple bought at a premium, $4.10. I think it was. We did an article on that a couple days ago. If you guys want to look into it, I'll try to see if I can make a little card so that you can see it once this goes into once it's uploaded into YouTube's platform. So why, you might ask, right? Well, because they had lower earnings in Q2 2019. The revenue came in at $1.34 billion, and it's below what the revenue was for last year for the same time, which was $1.41 billion. Now, do you guys think we can see a change now that they have started to implement Ripple's platform? They should have faster transfer speeds at lesser rates, which in turn should give them a competitive edge over its main competitors, right? So in principle, um, they should start to go. We should start to see faster responses. No, oh, sorry. This is Western Union that's cutting them, and I got confused. Ripple bought MoneyGram, not Western Union. Ha! Sorry about that. Anyways, so the question is, as the article states, can Ripple help Western Union? Maybe if Ripple goes ahead and signs something with Western Union, they could lower the rates though and have faster transfer speeds, which should give them a competitive edge and put them on par with MoneyGram. Now, sorry about that confusion, guys. Honest mistake. On to XRP. On XRP news, we can see that we're still within this downtrend we had mapped, and apparently going back, it's no longer this wedge, we broke it, but going back into that down resistance we had traced previously. Momentum also starting to pick up negatively a little bit, and we are entering still safe territory within the RSI, but a bit more sold and approximating that oversold territory. Let me hide for now this. And on Litecoin news, we didn't find anything regarding Litecoin that was worth reporting today. We only find an article stating that Litecoin shoots upwards as it has successfully halved, and we know that is not true. The halving event had nothing to do with Litecoin shooting up. It basically was following what Bitcoin was doing, which is what we stated earlier on an article, I think yesterday. And we're gonna look really quick at the price so we can move on to Binance news. As you can see, Binance still within this downtrend and within this down sloping. Well, we can't forget that wedge. We could make maybe a triangle now. Right, something like this. Yeah, something like that might work. So let's read that one. And could be a triangle, right? And anyway, still within this down sloping channel we had traced. Now really quickly on to Binance news. And in Binance we have some good news and some bad news. So I mean, if you want to watch them, stay tuned. The stream's almost done. So they just want the price of XRP to rise. Yes, that guy who wants that petition, all he wants is XRP to rise. He probably wants to cash out of his position by making, by signing petitions for XRP to stop putting the currency onto the market and burning half of the XRP they have. Right? It's really stupid. It's funny, and I mean, I don't know how much traction it's gonna get, but I think XRP is just going to ignore it. They have too much going on, and they need that supply. For once, they have signed up the banks and everyone else, so we'll see what happens. Right now, on to BNB. The Latin American payment gateways crypto buyer has an extensive network of cryptocurrency ATMs, and it has allowed users to make payments, transfer money, and top up mobiles remotely, and purchase products from multiple vendors using cryptocurrency. Now, they've announced that they're adding Binance Coin to its point of sale solution, which are in more than 200 stores in Latin America. Crypto Buyer currently has a network of more than 50,000 registered users, which is a pretty good size, and they work with some of the major retailers in Latin America. So the Binance Coin might get a little bit more traction in Latin America. The platform generates a QR code for each transaction. Consumers can scan this code using the cryptocurrency wallet on their phone, and the merchant will receive the payment in 48 hours. Now, while this might seem like really good news for Binance, you might want to hit the brakes because there's some news that came out today that are not really good, and they basically have to do with a hack of Binance users' KYC data. And some sources are stating that some of the information has been leaked to Telegram groups. Apparently, Binance is being blackmailed over this data. In a statement, Binance said that an unidentified individual has threatened to harass us, demanding 300 Bitcoin in exchange for withholding 10,000 photos that bear similarity to Binance KYC data. Binance commented that at the present time, there's no evidence has been supplied that indicates that any KYC images have been obtained from Binance and that these images do not contain the digital watermark imprinted by our system. They've also stated on initial review of the images made public, they all appear to be dated from February 2018, at which time Binance had contracted a third-party vendor for KYC in order to handle the high volume of requests at the time. Currently, we are investigating with a third-party vendor for more information. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao urged users not to fall into the KYC leak FUD. Now, I do believe that maybe there was a leak. Whether or not it was from this KYC provider they mentioned, it's still yet to be seen. You know, but it does bring us back into a question that we asked yesterday regarding the should exchanges take more measures to protect against hackers. You know, well, it seems that we're getting also our answers today. Exchanges do still need to take more measures. As we stated, exchanges are going to keep on being targets of attack. We stated yesterday, North Korea was attacking these exchanges, taking cryptos and then selling them to finance their weapons programs. Now we are looking that China is also targeting some crypto exchanges, although whether or not it's maliciously or not, it's yet to be determined. And this, I'm gonna go and show you these articles, and these are the ones that I found today. All three touch on the basic, on the same news, so I kind of compress them into this small segment. Now onto the Binance chart. And Binance, here we go. We had this downsloping wedge, or if we want to make it a large triangle structure, we could. It's better seen on the daily, the triangle. There we go. Then on the 4 hours, however, on the 4 hours, we can see what's really happening. We had this breakout on a little bit of volume, not much, but we are making positive momentum higher than our previous one, and we are stepping, or we step lightly into overbought territory, but very, very slightly. And I need to close this window, and here we go. So we were sitting at 71.74. We're going back down a little bit. Candle still has an hour and 16 minutes to go. However, we did mention yesterday that we were tightening up and that we might see a movement soon, probably towards the upside because of the lesser negative momentum we were having. And yeah, apparently it has happened. Now that's it for today, guys. That's all we have. If someone has any questions, you can post them on the chat. If not, you can leave them on the link on the comments below. Thank you for watching. Again, if you like what we do, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. And if you believe that this information is of use to you, friends, or could be of interest to anyone you know, please let them know that we're here. You know, we would like to see this community grow. And thank you, guys.